Hey, to anybody out there who's thinking about kind of taking the leap and investing in the sleep consultant and getting sleep coaching, I'll share my story and the effect that working with Riley Jarvis had for me. Like so many people, when we get into our late 20s, early 30s, we get into a more competitive career. Our bodies don't hold up the way that they used to, and what we eat, the way that we sleep, the way that we go to the gym, the way that we stress ourselves every day, it starts to really take a toll. And eventually it takes a toll so badly that you can't easily bounce back, and it can completely spiral out of control. In my particular case, I'm a life coach and kind of an adventure photographer. My weight was spiraling out of control. I was getting sick. I was stressed. I had anxiety, and I didn't know what was going on. I went to doctors. I went to the GP. I had blood tests and things like that, but nobody could explain why I was having ongoing anxiety attacks, why I was getting so fat so easily, why going to the gym was getting worse for me. And I remember that I spent a lot of money with a lot of doctors, a lot of things like x-rays, blood tests, urine samples, things like that. And over the course of 4 or 5 years, a lot of personal trainers, dietitians, we couldn't get it right. And my quality of life was so bad that it went to a spiral of self-destruction. I mean, if you're not having the body that you want, the mind that you want, you can't sleep properly, you can't perform at work, you can't date properly, then quality of life is horrible. And so I don't even remember how I came across Riley. It was like a network. And he had the answers. And if we speak to our doctors, or even if we're Googling, one thing that doctors are not good at is kind of like hormonal diagnosis. It's outside of blood tests, and it's outside of conventional medicine. But the thing about Riley was he was more caring and professional and thorough than any doctor that I'd ever spoken to. You know, you speak to a doctor, you get like 20-minute slots, but Riley would take hours to go through blood test results that he would run, and stool tests, and urine tests, and he could explain things to me, and not only explain it, why it's happening, this new ideas about hormones that I'd never heard of, but not only could he explain that so that I could make sense of it, integrate it into my lifestyle, prescribe the right medication, get it right, and then the change in my quality of life was phenomenal. When I started the diagnosis with Riley, I think I weighed 86 kilograms. We had to do a course of liver medication and stomach medication for about 4 or 5 months. And then once we finished the liver and stomach medication, my hormones went back to normal. As in, like, my testosterone went back to where it was supposed to be. I stopped having anxiety because the chemicals in my liver and my stomach balanced back in my bloodstream or something. And then I could feel calm at night. I didn't have that brain fog anymore. I could get up and I could just go. I could go to the gym, and I could actually perform and get stronger. Over the course of 6 months, from when we finished the course of medication with Riley, from January 2023 now to June 2023, I lost 10 kilograms. That's like 18 pounds or 20 pounds. It's unbelievable. And that difference in quality of life, that dissatisfaction that I had with myself before starting, was, I was inconsolable, to be honest. I was inconsolable. And Riley, taking the time, more professional than any medical professional than I've ever spoken to. That Canadian niceness that you get with the guy, the patience, the accountability, it was unbelievably worth it. And, you know, we only live once, right? So you want to live healthy and switched on and effective and reaching your potential in a competitive world, because otherwise your quality of life is going to be severely compromised. It's a bit weird because Riley exists outside of the medical industry, but the medical industry is very kind of black and white, see the problem, prescribe the problem and give a medication. But Riley is more of a therapy, some herbal therapies, some hormonal therapies, and the kinds of tests that you might not do with your doctor, or you need to go like deep with a doctor to do things like stool tests, blood tests, some tissue tests, but he can do those things remotely, understand them, prescribe them to you for a fraction of the cost of deep medicine prices like hospital and therapy and stuff like that. So what more can you say than that person changed your life and your quality of life, and that it was worth it? You know, my first priority in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is health and well-being, being able to sleep normally at night in order to think clearly during the day, to go to the gym, to lose weight, to have the physique that you want, to be competitive in your own career. That's non-negotiable. Like, in terms that's the first priority on my budget, and if you want to have a great quality of life as well, it needs to be the first priority on your budget too. So this is not only a recommendation, this is the truth is, this guy is the most professional, the most thorough, cares, and he has a Canadian humility where he doesn't realize how good he is. At the end of the day, he's the answer to the questions that you're looking for. If you're on this site, your sleep's not good, your hormones are not good, your quality of life is nowhere near where you think it should be, the guy has the answers. The only problem is he's in demand. So maybe you have to go on the waiting list. Maybe you have to be patient to get a slice of his time, but it's brilliant. So follow through. Follow through. It's, as far as your life is concerned, health and well-being, starting with sleep, which comes from hormones, which comes from inner health, which comes from gut balance, liver balance, blood balance, and essential well-being. It's completely priceless. So thank you, Riley, from me to you. Completely changed my life, gave me permission to again be the kind of person that I want to be, rather than self-hate and self-defeat. It's a positive spiral from here on up, and again, thanks to you.